You thought they'd come back, that it was just a temporary fallout, that if you just waited long enough, loved hard enough, gave more, sacrificed more, they'd see your worth. But nothing changed. They didn't return. They became cold, distant, and unfamiliar, as if you never even existed. And if that's where you are right now, silent, confused, and hurting, pause for a moment. Because here's the truth. When a narcissist is truly done with you, they don't just walk away, they erase you. You were once the center of their world, but now you're just a blurred background in the next story they're already writing with someone else. Today's video will wake you up. We're going to uncover the undeniable signs that a narcissist is 100% done with you forever, why it happens, what it really means, and most importantly, why you should never want them back. This isn't about reopening wounds. It's about reclaiming the power you gave to someone who never deserved it. Hit that subscribe button because here we don't beg for the past, we heal, we rise, and we move forward. Stay with me until the end of this video because you deserve the truth. And on the other side of that truth is your freedom. Sign number 1, they reveal their true nature and become a completely different person. So what really happens when a narcissist is completely done with you? This isn't a temporary mood swing. This isn't the infamous silent treatment to manipulate you. No, this is the cold surgical end, the kind of end that feels so empty, it makes you question whether the relationship ever meant anything at all. The first and most painful sign, the void. They stop pretending. No more sweet words. No more promises to fix things. No more love bombing. What was once intimacy, even if it was just a performance, is now replaced with absolute indifference. And here's what you need to understand. This isn't growth. It's not healing. They didn't stop because they respect you. They stop because you no longer serve a function. A narcissist lives off of supply, emotional reactions, admiration, fear, control. The moment you stop reacting, stop begging, stop mirroring the version of themselves they want to see, you become useless to them. And that's when they vanish. They may slip away quietly, or worse, they've already lined up someone else before leaving you. So when you see them flaunting a new relationship a few weeks later, don't let it destroy you. It's not love, it's strategy, a cover-up, a performance for the world and for themselves. They won't apologize, they won't reflect, and they absolutely will not come back to fix things. Because to a narcissist, love is not connection, it's control. And when that control is gone, so are they. But here's the truth. Their silence isn't proof that you're worthless, it's proof that you've taken your power back. Only when you stop playing the role they assigned you do they finally let go. Only when you stop fearing them do they see you as useless. And that's when you become free. So if they've gone silent, don't chase. Recognize that you are standing on the edge of something powerful, a new chapter of healing, one where you finally come home to yourself. If this resonates with you, hit that subscribe button because on this channel, we don't dwell in pain, we rise through it. Stay with me until the end, because up next, I'll reveal the deepest psychological truths behind how narcissists disconnect and how you can walk away without ever looking back. Sign number 2, they begin rewriting history, and in their version, you're the villain. When a narcissist is truly done with you, they don't just leave in silence. They leave with a story, a twisted version of the truth, where you become the problem. This is one of the most damaging signs of all, yet it's often overlooked. Because the truth is, when a narcissist starts smearing you after the breakup because you were the bad one, it's because they're trying to protect the fragile illusion of who they are. You see, a narcissist cannot stand the thought of being seen as the one who failed. If they're the one who walked away, they need a reason that justifies it in their own mind. If you were the one who ended things, they especially need a narrative that paints them as the victim. That's when the memory twisting begins. They recall events incorrectly or deliberately retell them with a completely different spin. Suddenly, your patience becomes control, your forgiveness becomes weakness, your silence becomes manipulation, and they, the one who wounded you, become the misunderstood martyr. Why do they do this? Because they can't face the reality that they destroyed something beautiful. In their minds, there's only room for 2 roles. the hero or the victim, never the villain. So they cast you into that role, whether you deserve it or not. They'll spread this story to friends, family, new partners, even social media. They plant seeds of distortion to paint themselves as righteous and you as unhinged. And the worst part, you start to wonder if it's true. You begin questioning yourself. Was I too controlling? Too sensitive? Did I really push them away? And that is where the real danger lies. When you begin doubting your own reality, you're at risk of re-traumatization. But stop, breathe, and listen closely. Someone who truly loved you doesn't need to destroy your character to move on. They may be hurt, they may be grieving, but they don't rewrite you to redeem themselves. When a narcissist crafts a false narrative about you, it's not a reflection of your truth. It's a reflection of their fear. They can't live in the light of reality, so they build a shadow to hide in. And that shadow, it's built with lies about you. As painful as it is, this sign confirms one brutal fact. They are truly done. Because once a narcissist no longer needs you as supply, they stop pretending to be kind, civil, or respectful. The mask drops, and what's left is raw, unapologetic cruelty. So remember this. Their story is not the truth. Your lived experience, your pain, your memory, your intuition, that is the truth. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to correct the narrative. You just need to walk away, because no one should live inside a lie where they're painted as the enemy. If you've ever been turned into the bad guy in a narcissist's fantasy, hit that subscribe button. This is a space where your voice is honored, your truth is respected, and your healing begins with light, not shame. Sign number 3, they rush into a new life and flaunt it as if you never existed. One of the most jarring shocks after leaving a narcissist isn't the silence, it's how fast they replace you. While you're still trying to make sense of what happened, replaying conversations, questioning where it all went wrong, they've already posted pictures with someone new, smiling like they've never known heartbreak. Not months, sometimes not even weeks. No space to grieve, no pause to heal, just a loud, calculated display, sudden and icy. But don't be fooled. What you're seeing isn't real happiness. It's a performance, a desperate attempt to prove they won, that they never needed you, that you were easily replaceable. Here's the truth. Narcissists cannot be alone. They can't sit in silence, because silence forces them to face the one thing they fear most, themselves. They don't have a healthy inner identity to lean on, so they seek mirrors, people to reflect back admiration, emotions, control. When you stop playing that role, they scramble for a replacement, quickly, desperately, because without a new supply, they begin to fall apart. Their flashy social media posts aren't about joy, they're bait. They want you to react, to feel jealousy, to doubt your worth, to believe that the new person has something you didn't. This isn't love, it's post-breakup manipulation. And if you take the bait, if you message, cry, compete, they win, because they've pulled you back into the cycle of pain, control, and emotional chaos. But if you stay still, if you remain silent, if you refuse to be pulled into the spectacle, they panic. Because to a narcissist, nothing is more terrifying than a former supply who no longer reacts. Remember this: how fast they replace you says nothing about your worth and everything about their emptiness. A healthy person takes time to grieve, reflect, and grow. A narcissist rushes to find a new mask because they can't bear to be exposed without one. So if your ex is out there showcasing a strangely perfect life, don't fall for it. Hit subscribe right now, because here you won't be judged by your heartbreak. You'll be seen for your resilience, and you'll learn to rise. Not to win them back, but to reclaim yourself. Sign number 4, they begin to insult, degrade, and humiliate you as if you're the enemy, not the person they once claimed to love. This is one of the most brutal and bewildering stages after a narcissist decides they're done with you. The same person who once held your hand in public now uses their words to destroy your image. This isn't a heat of the moment outburst. This is intentional. A calculated effort to erase any value you once held, not just in their eyes, but in the eyes of others too. They begin attacking the smallest things about you. The traits they once praised and adored are suddenly used against you. Your voice, now annoying. Your affection, now suffocating. Your vulnerability, rebranded as manipulation. Worse still, they begin painting you as unstable, too sensitive, or even toxic to friends, to family, to anyone who'll listen. Why? Because tearing you down is the fastest way to justify their departure. In the narcissist's mind, there's no room for accountability. They can't tolerate the thought that they may be the one at fault. So instead of owning their actions, they shift the entire blame onto you. If they can make you look broken, they get to walk away guilt-free. But this isn't just personal insult. This is post-breakup gaslighting. It's designed to make you question everything about yourself. You begin to wonder, am I really that difficult? Was I the reason this relationship failed? Maybe I'm just too much to love. No, you are not the problem. The problem is that you believed in someone who never existed, and now they've taken off the mask. When a narcissist starts attacking you with insults, sarcasm, and contempt, it's a clear sign they see no further use for you. And if they can't control you with love anymore, they'll try to control you through pain. Don't fall for it. Don't explain. Don't beg them for decency. They already know you're hurting, and in their twisted world, that means they still have power. But you can take that power back by not reacting. Hit subscribe if you've ever been made to question your worth after someone left you broken, because here we don't let a narcissist's voice define us. We heal through truth, self-respect, and a silence far louder than any argument. Sign number 5. They show complete indifference to your pain, as if their heart never beat for you. This is one of the most brutal truths. When a narcissist is truly done with you, they don't just leave. They don't just replace you. They don't just rewrite the past. They go cold, completely and terrifyingly cold. They show zero concern for your well-being. They don't ask if you're okay. They don't check in. They don't look back, not even for a second. And what makes this hurt the most is that this was once the person you believed was your true love, the one who held you when you were at your weakest, the one who whispered, "I'd never hurt you." Now they walk past you like a stranger, detached, distant, and utterly unbothered. Why? Because to a narcissist, you were never seen as a person. You were seen as a function. As long as you gave them something, admiration, control, emotion, they loved you. But the moment you stopped serving their purpose, you became invisible. Their indifference is not a sign of strength. It's evidence of emptiness. Empathy requires an inner connection to real emotion. But for a narcissist, emotions are tools. And when a tool breaks, they discard it without flinching. And that's what hurts the most. You thought, surely they must regret this. Surely they feel something. But they don't. Not because you're unworthy of grief, but because they're incapable of grieving. They didn't lose you. They lost control over you. You could be crumbling inside, crying yourself to sleep, unable to breathe from the pain, and they'll be out enjoying dinner, dating someone new, posting inspirational quotes on social media. That's not healing. That's avoidance. And you need to remember this. Their indifference says nothing about your worth, but everything about their wounded, undeveloped self. A healthy person grieves, reflects, and honors the past. A narcissist just switches roles, quickly, seamlessly, without pause. If you've ever been shattered by someone's cold indifference, hit subscribe, because here, you'll never be made to believe their lack of care was your fault. We'll break it down, understand it, and most importantly, take back the heart, the dignity, and the soul they tried to discard. Sign number 6. They vanish suddenly. No goodbye, no explanation, no closure. There was no big fight, no heartfelt conversation. No, we need some space to think, just silence. They disappeared, as if they never existed, as if you never mattered. No texts, no calls, no apology, no "I'm sorry" or "we need to talk." You only realize you've been left when days go by with no word, when they've blocked you on social media. Or worse, when you see them with someone new, acting like you were never theirs to begin with. This isn't a breakup. This is ghosting at its most brutal. A cruel, emotionally destructive exit narcissists often use when they've drained everything they wanted from you. They don't say goodbye because they don't view you as someone who deserves closure. And beneath it all, they enjoy leaving you in confusion, pain, and a storm of unanswered questions. What did I do wrong? Did something happen I didn't see? Are they okay? Will they come back? All those questions, That is their final gift to you, mental chaos. They want you stuck in uncertainty. They want you to replay every moment, overanalyze every message, every look, searching for a clue. They want you to wait, to hope, to fall apart. And the worst part, you don't get a final chapter. No closure to accept, no goodbye to forgive, because they never cared about closure. They only care about timing their exit, when they've had their emotional fill, when they've lined up someone new, or when you stopped complying. And then they leave. Quietly, quietly, coldly, without looking back. But you need to know this: anyone who leaves without a word never deserved your waiting. That silence isn't strength, it's proof of emotional weakness and cowardice. Mature people say goodbye, selfish ones disappear. If you've ever been abandoned without a goodbye, hit subscribe. Because here we don't just recover from the silence, we learn how to reclaim our voice, our power, and our dignity. You don't need their explanation, you need your own closure. The kind that comes when you finally say to yourself, I deserve a love that stays, speaks, and shows up. Sign number 7. They unleash the flying monkeys, a bizarre army of enablers sent to attack you on their behalf. When a narcissist is truly done with you, don't expect them to simply disappear quietly. No, they often save one final weapon for last. And this time, they don't even have to get their hands dirty. Instead, they summon their flying monkeys, a strange, disturbing army of enablers who continue their dirty work, smearing, manipulating, and emotionally destabilizing you from a distance. Who are these flying monkeys? They can be mutual friends, family members, coworkers, even their new partner. These people have been fed a distorted version of the truth, a tale where you are the abuser, the unstable one, the cold-hearted manipulator, and the narcissist, poor, misunderstood victim. And then the attacks begin. Snide messages sent your way, toxic comments on your social media, accidental updates about how happy your ex is now, little jabs designed to make you feel guilty, ashamed, or crazy. None of this is random. It's a calculated tactic to continue controlling you emotionally without direct contact. The narcissist knows that if they reached out themselves, you might see through the manipulation. But through others, they create chaos from all directions, while standing on the sidelines looking innocent. Worse still, at some point, you might have unknowingly played the role of a flying monkey too, defending the narcissist, hurting one of their exes, believing a lie. That's how they operate, through division, distortion, and psychological warfare, using other people as weapons. If the people around you suddenly turn cold after your breakup with a narcissist, stay alert. Don't waste your energy explaining yourself to those who never cared to hear your side. Don't burn yourself out trying to fix your image in the eyes of who bought into the false narrative. Sign number 8. Finally, they look you in the eye and say, I'm bored of you. No more pretending, no sugarcoating, no cryptic silence or emotionally manipulative games. After all the confusion, the avoidance, and the mind games, they finally drop the act and tell you outright, I'm bored of you. A short sentence, but it cuts like a knife through everything you once believed was love. They're no longer interested in maintaining the mask. Why? Because in their eyes, you no longer serve a purpose. And now that there's nothing more to gain, they say what they've likely thought all along, that love to them was never about connection. It was entertainment. And when the thrill fades, they exit, like someone tossing away a toy that's no longer fun. You sit there, stunned, heart sinking. You thought love was about partnership, growth, and shared depth. But to them, love lasts only until they get bored. They're bored of your questions, bored of your vulnerability, bored of pretending to care, even bored of the reflection you used to provide because it no longer flatters their ego. But here's what you need to know. You are not boring. They are empty. They don't know how to build connection. They don't know how to nurture intimacy. They don't understand love beyond control and consumption. And when there's nothing left to take, they won't offer gratitude. They'll throw you away with a final, cruel declaration. I'm done. You're boring. But as painful as that sounds, this is the brutal closure that can set you free. Because in that moment, you see the truth. You were never loved for who you are, only for what you gave. You were a role in a performance they directed. And now that the camera stops rolling, they walk off set without looking back. If you've ever been discarded with a line like that, if someone made you feel like a burden instead of a blessing, hit subscribe. Because here we stop chasing approval from the emotionally bankrupt. We rebuild from the inside out. We choose ourselves, not because they're gone, but because we're finally done trying to be enough for someone who never knew what enough meant. If you saw yourself in any of the 8 signs we just walked through, I want you to know something clearly. There's no shame in that. You are not weak. You are not foolish. You're human. Someone who loved deeply and placed your trust where you hoped love was real. But now you're no longer the victim. Because here's the truth. When the narcissist is truly done with you, that's also your chance to finally be done with them. For good. No more mind games, no more manipulation wrapped in charm, no more half love that makes you question your worth. They left not because you weren't enough, but because you've stopped surrendering your power. And from that moment forward, you were no longer theirs. You were yours again. Let their silence be your wake-up call. Let their final insult be proof of their emptiness, not your value. And let your healing journey become the most beautiful thing about this chapter, not because you got over them, but because you came home to yourself. If these words speak to your soul, don't leave in silence. Hit that subscribe button, because here you won't be judged for loving the wrong person. You'll be empowered to finally love the right one, starting with you.